your development, of course, we're talking skilled and all that, but your development as a person and going to the next level as you matured, you know, every year you got a year older, every year you went a grade higher. How that plays, I guess we'll say the life side of it, how that plays into your hockey journey part and what you're seeing, whether with the kids as a coach now today or as you as a player coming up.
Well, I mean, it's it's crazy to think, some of the 12-year-olds and the 13-year-olds that we coach could potentially be leaving home in 2 years to go play junior hockey. Like that's pretty crazy to think for me. I would like to think that I was more mature than they are now when I was their age, but there's no chance. So, I think I left home when I was 15. And my parents sent me away as like a young teenager, and they got me back at Christmas after my first year in the Western League, and I was a grown up. They weren't going to tell me what to do. That was kind of the attitude I had. I'm a grown up now. I moved out of the house. I could take care of myself. And boy, was I wrong, first of all. But I think unless you're extremely highly touted, or you have no other option, say you're from a very small town and your only option is to go play away, right, like as young as you can, there's no harm in spending a couple extra years at home, developing not only as a player, but like I said, as a young man, or as a young woman, if you're playing hockey anywhere. I think even in my experience, maybe had I not played in the WHL, maybe I waited a couple of years and saw what was out there, the NCAA route. At that point, maybe I turned pro at 23 years old instead of 20, and maybe I have a better head on my shoulders. There's all those things that can, you can sit back and, hindsight's 2020. But now moving forward, now that we've got these young athletes in our programs, to me, it's whoa, 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 whoa. This is not a race. This is not a race. If you want to play hockey for the rest of your life, it doesn't matter if you start getting paid when you're 23 or when you're 19 or if you're 25. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you can stay for a bunch of years.
Yeah.
Right. There's 1,000 guys like me, 1,000 guys like you who, yeah, you got really, really, really close.
Yeah.
But, had I had a couple extra years of maturity, maybe I go to Europe and realize, wow, this is a great life. Maybe I'm still playing. But that wasn't the case for me then. I wasn't, mentally strong enough to be across the world by myself, to have, essentially all these responsibilities and no one telling me what I can and can't do. Those are things that are way more important than, your 700th rep through a dangle bar that day. Right? If you can spend a little bit extra time working on you as a person, and you as a student athlete for our younger players, you can focus on that. Hockey's not going anywhere, right? Even the CIS route, U Sports, the amount of very, very talented hockey players that are coming out of there and are heading over to Europe and playing 5, 6, 7, 8 year careers. There's no wrong way of doing it anymore. I think that's the exciting thing for young athletes is you can stay close to home and you can make it. You can go as far away as you want and you can make it. So I don't think there's really a one solution fits all for anybody. It's if you're underdeveloped, stay home. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're not going to get ice time and you're going to get, beat physically in every battle you go into. Go find yourself a spot where you have good, honest competition every time you step on the ice. And that's the same for let's call them big fish in small ponds. You're not getting any better by scoring 6 goals a game. If there's a team that's near you and you got to travel a little bit to go get them, to play with better players, to play against better players, well, it's something you might want to consider. Because if you're serious about it, and I'm not going to pretend to know how much U.S. university costs, but if that's, as a family, if that's your goal, a little bit of travel when you're 13, 14, 15 years old might not be the biggest deal if you're looking to find yourself a scholarship to one of those big schools. And then, maybe if you're a kid who might play junior B, maybe you stay home, maybe you develop, maybe you go to high school with your buddies, learn other things, see if there's other passions you have. Hockey's, again, not going anywhere.
Yeah.
There's always spots for people to play. And you got to just make sure that you find the right spot for you as opposed to, the right spot for your ego or the right spot for your parents.
I know in the previous podcast, some guys had, and girls mentioned some of these different things, but like you said, when moving away to Europe, just how much maturity that takes to go over there alone or whatever. It's just, I don't know if you're saying that you're mentally weak there, but I would say it's just certainly a different experience where you're coming as one and to a new town or community and a team, and you're kind of going there more so it's your job to perform, and as an import player there, it's not as much as like I'm going to whatever you want to call it, the Evans Iceman where we played, and we kind of know everyone or connected through different people, and we're going to a team that we're a lot of the hockey guys share similar traits and personality traits and all that you can kind of get along in some sort of way. It's a brotherhood. But when you go to the Europe, you can find some different challenges there as a person. One is, you really have to be, it can get lonely. So it's really on you to really be able to, I don't want to say busy yourself, but keep yourself focused and on track and handle that. But also too, you got to stay organized and structured with what you're doing, whether it be team practices, hockey stuff, or maybe there's other things that you're doing. And just taking care of yourself is probably one of the biggest ones. Is what I know we try and stress a lot to these younger kids in our skills program, especially, and I'm sure you do with your HPL Wolves, is at some point they got to take ownership of a lot of these things, and it starts when they're young. Of course, we all brush your teeth, and goes into potentially maybe laundry, making breakfast for yourself, into all these other meals, into really trying to take care of yourself. I guess appearance wise, we'll say, and for sure mentally with making sure your mental side is strong and staying correctly, because if the stuff outside of the rink starts to go down, your play and performance will go down too, for sure. So those are good points about living away.